So I got the most random thing for you when it comes to nostalgia. You were not gonna expect this. This map honestly has the coolest liminal space vibes. Maybe we should get a Popsy, a Choke, a seven Pop, a Dr. Popper, a Deja Blue, might I add, or maybe a Diet Joke. All jokes aside, we are literally in probably one of the coolest maps ever made on Garry's mod, a game that's 15 years old. Before I show you more, I just want to show you the detail in a freaking subway. And I know it's easy to just write some of these things off. I mean, we're looking at a very basic map, but I mean, look, we got the freaking, this like board of bullshit, notes. Look at this, very liminal. It looks like a postal service box. Look at this, we're in freaking New York. Holy shit, guys, check this out. This is a map that someone made. He's made multiple other maps that have like similar vibes around the New York area. But by far, this is the craziest map I think I've ever laid my eyes on. When my buddies and I were trying to find roleplay maps to troll on, this was one of the maps that somebody was like hosting for a roleplay server. And this is so perfect because there's spots in this map that if I were to just sit still and pause and lower the resolution, you guys would not know that this was originally a video game. Now, obviously, we got some joke pics in here, like the freaking Twin Towers. So this map has to obviously be around the 2000 era. And it does have some things, like Catch is obviously Nokia, which Nokia phones were pretty big back then. Codex, which I would only assume that's Kodak, the cameras. We just got a bunch of signs like Choke for like Coke. Bud Geezer. Cup of Noodles is legit for some reason. Then we got the Peanut Guy. And my favorite, Drink More. But there's just line of sight views that are insane. Like if we look down this alleyway, we just get a lot of detail just in this little picture. Same as if we go down kind of like this aisle. Like holy shit. I know it's Gmod, and if we look at the textures, I have my settings set to the highest, so it's sad that we still have some pop in. I'd love to just crank this out, and there's probably settings for that. I'm just not that technical or nerdy to even care that much, because this is good enough for me. And I don't care about the pop-ins. I played hours upon hours of Minecraft on very low render distance, and to me, that game still is very magical. I mean, just look at this! The detail on some of these buildings, like, holy shit, if I were to just take a photo right now, boom, take the photo, and then lower the resolution a little bit, would you not tell me that this looks realistic? Like, this looks realistic. You do not need to tell me. I'm already convinced. Like, this looks so good. Like, little details like this little pointless alleyway, like, we've all been there where we're just like kind of walking down a street and we like look off to our side and we're like, oh yeah, look at this spot. This is a spot that gets neglected in 20 other video games. But this creator went ahead and put this in. So this map is a must play. You guys have to check this map out. There's just so much detail that I won't even be able to cover in this video. And I don't want to cover because in this video it would be literally 1 billion hours long. The longest video on YouTube. I had games like Donkey Kong 64 growing up. Games like Simpsons Hit and Run that could not get to the same quality that is in this video. Like, it is insane the options that kids have today. Kids have VR. Kids can live a reality that's not even real today. And with the new Unreal Engine 5 stuff that's pushing out even more realistic stuff, you don't even have to try. It's just going to get insane in the years to come. The possibilities that are going to happen. So I just quickly went to a different part of the map. Now, I can't say this is probably a very common area that many of us have experienced, but you all know a dad or two or a father figure in one of your lives that you kind of help out in the business. You're in the backside of a business, and I mean, here you go. If you ever wanted to role play around that, there you go. You got your little area. This whole map's getting insane, man. It's just freaking insane. Even the little details on stuff like this, buildings that you can't enter, it still makes it feel like that's a business right there, but just boarded up. It's insane. There's another perfect sort of photo opportunity where you could easily troll people. You could even, it's like the GTA things where you see people listing GTA cars and GTA houses. Do the same thing with this right here. I gotta run some freaking copies. Hopefully it doesn't take all night. Ah, shit. My wife's gonna kill me. Some of the textures on these buildings, it's insane. Like, those textures, those two lines of those bright textures on this building, right here, that's the actual layer that you play in. But from a distance, it looks like that's a layer that you could actually play on. That's a layer that you could play on, but it's only actually this little layer up here that's actually playable. And then, again, this is a game almost like, I don't know, 18, 17 years old. The lighting on a map for a game that's roughly almost 2 decades old is insane to me. Like, this is photorealistic type lighting. We got enough atmospheric mist in the air to have the light refract. I mean, just look at this, like, skyline. It feels like this goes on for miles. It's just incredible how much detail that the creator put into the skybox to make this map feel quite vast and grand more than what it actually is. I'll put an image of what the actual playable map is, and this looks like this map goes on for miles. Like, that's how crazy this is. I mean, look, this is freaking the picture-perfect area of New York. I don't know what this is. Times Square. Shoot me all you want. I really don't know what this is in New York. I've never been to New York. That's the cool thing about maps like this is I've never been here. I've seen enough videos, movies, books, pictures to already grasp an idea. And what's so great about these, like, liminal maps and liminal experiences is it gets me a little bit closer to the idea of what it could be without actually even going there. Holy shit, this is a detail. Holy shit, this is a detail that I did not even see last time. You see the blue refracting off of this. This isn't like that NVIDIA stuff where it's got the super ray technology. This is literally someone took a blue texture because they knew this neon sign was going to be bright, and they put it on this texture on the building. That is some next level detail. Literally, this is I've never seen this before. This is probably like my 10th attempt of showing a map for this. And this is a new thing that I just discovered. Like, that's how insane the details are on this map. So now we're in one of New York's many parks. It's got the iconic arch. I literally don't know what park this is. I'm just speaking out my ass. But the detail in this public restroom just makes it feel like, yeah, this is obviously to the public. There's so much graffiti that it's not a private business. And here's my smug ass. Take a photo of this moment, selfie. The detail in here is just, it's insane. And not because there's a mirror, but, like, the fact that you can see this, and if you go through it, it's actually not a developer trick to just make another room. It's actually just the technology being advanced to actually reflect properly. Yeah, I mean, just the freaking crap here makes it look so like you're there. It's detail that you wouldn't care for otherwise, but it's enough to trick the mind that it's not bland. Like, this feels very complete to what we see on a daily basis when we go out in our lives. That's, to me, what the point of this map is. It's raw but complete. There's a bunch of raw textures. Like, this looks like shit. But if I'm not focusing on it, it doesn't just look like a random incomplete building in the distance. I hope you guys are following with what I'm talking about. If we get close to some of these textures, it's just they're all muddy. They're all compressed so that it can fit on a giant grand map like this, but it's just enough freaking detail so that you get a good broad idea of, like, what the heck's going on with a map like this. Alright, so now we're in Chinatown. Like, this is insane. We got a lot of just neon signs in here. So we got that kind of neon effect being reused again. The blue textures being kind of casted on everything. I'm surprised that even Chinatown made it into a map like this for role-playing, because I rarely think people would focus on the little details like this. I mean, here's another grand, picture-perfect moment. You could take another photo, and you could trick people into thinking that this is actually a real photo. So I seem to have made myself into the back doors of this operation. Let's just go outside before we get caught. Holy shit, where are we at? We're like in the back alley somewhere. Hopefully we don't get stabbed. We got some nice graffiti texture. Like, graffiti to me, although it's repulsive and it's just derogatory in the sense like it's just not something you should be doing. It's very familiar to me. Like the idea of seeing graffiti, it's just welcoming. I don't know how to describe it. Like just seeing that on the side of the building, just, you know that people have been there and that this place isn't like isolated. For those that have seen the Mario movie, this is obviously what Luigi does after their plumbing business fails. Do not quote me on that. A lot of these textures are just very basic, but they get the job done. Kind of like how I was talking about in the bathroom. They're very crude, but they're there so that it doesn't seem empty. I make a ton of videos on nostalgia because nostalgia is important to me and it helps me get closer to my inner child. Hopefully it gets closer to your inner child, and I'll love to see you on the next video. And until then, thanks for watching.